Some agents say this company sucks, other agents rave about this company, and so it can be really confusing. But really, I'm going to break this down into a really simple, easy to understand process, so that way you can make the best decision for your business and what you're wanting to do. Hey guys, my name is Caitlin, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons of pay at close and pay up front lead generation sources and companies. So that way you can make the best educated decision for where you are and really where you want to take your business, so you can find the best fit that works for you. I know when it comes to searching for online leads or lead generation, there's so many options out there, and it can kind of get overwhelming with what's the best model, what's the best way to do things. Some agents say this company sucks, other agents rave about this company, and so it can be really confusing. But really, I'm going to break this down into a really simple, easy to understand process, so that way you can make the best decision for your business and what you're wanting to do. There's so many ways to grow your business, to generate new opportunities, new buyers and sellers, and sometimes I think a lot of realtors get analysis paralysis, and there's so many options that they just do nothing. Well, it's about finding what works for you and sticking with that and improving that over time, which is going to actually produce the best results versus just being scatterbrained and not doing anything. There's some people that really crush it with open houses, and there's other people that really crush it with cold calling and door knocking, and there's other people that crush it with social media advertising and things like that. And so it's just finding what's going to work for you and what you prioritize most. So let's dig right in. So like I said, I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons to each of these options. So first thing I'm going to start with is the pros of pay per close. So on the surface level, this offer sounds really sexy, and the reason for that is there is less risk for you as the realtor, which is great. And I will say, I've done a lot of research on these types of companies. A lot of times there is still a significant setup fee or initial pay up front cost, so just look out for that. But there's usually a smaller pay up front cost, and then there is a pay percentage at closings, which usually ranges anywhere from 30 to 50%. So that's a pro. You don't have to dish out a lot of money up front, and you just pay on the back end. It's also really great for beginners that really don't have a marketing budget to put a lot or any money up front in something. So if you're in that boat, I would say definitely seriously look at those options. Now, some cons and just some things you want to look out for with these pay per close companies and programs is they get paid at close, so they target the lowest possible price and at the highest volume, and split the leads between many agents. Now, if you think about it, this makes sense for them as a company because, they don't really have any ability to, I guess you could say, track if an agent could close a deal. So they'll bring the leads and they'll send them out to as many agents as possible, because they're not going to put all their eggs in one basket when it comes to closing a lead. So that's another thing that you have to consider is, a lot of times they're going to send them to tons of agents in your area. And if they don't send them to tons of agents and they are exclusive, then you're going to have a considerable, you have to apply for those types of pay per close deals, and it usually takes a while to get on those programs. So just some things to look out for. So that's the first con, is that a lot of times they're shared, the price points are lower, and so those are just some issues that you may have to deal with. The second con is that what you don't pay for upfront will always cost you more on the back end and in the long run. So if you just do some simple math, let's say you're in a 300K price point, you're gonna net anywhere from about 7K plus per deal usually if you're in that median home price point. So if you're having to dish out 50% of that, that means you're probably paying the company anywhere from $3,000 on up, maybe up to $10,000 per deal that you close from that. So, what I've seen is a lot of times when people start to close a couple deals from those programs, it's great because they haven't paid anything up front, but then you start reconsidering, okay, I've paid, like $4K per deal to close this. I wonder if I put this in my own marketing, if I could get more from it. And so you start having those kinds of questions after you close a couple deals and start realizing how much you're actually giving away on the back end. And the third con about a system like this is, I've really never met a realtor to this point that does pay per close and is fully busy and packed with just using that. A lot of times those deals kind of come every once in a blue moon, maybe once every 3 months or 6 months. But let's say your goals are you want to double your production, or maybe you want to add an additional 2 closings or 3 listings a month. It's not actually scalable because you don't have any control over it. And so there's no way to actually scale what you're wanting to do, turn up the dial to increase the amount of closings you get on a monthly basis. So now I'm going to talk about the cons of a pay up front type of system. First thing is the obvious con: you're paying up front. So it's more risky that you may actually lose money on the back end. So the first con is obvious. It's pay up front, which means you have a higher risk on the front end if you don't actually convert these leads or appointments into deals. The second con is you're typically committed to paying a certain amount for at least a 3 to 6 to 12 month period. So if you're not consistently closing deals from that system, again, it's going to eat into your profits. And the third part is, I've seen this a lot with different companies, is, the leads, they make all these bold promises of, we're going to get you this, and you're going to be the best realtor in the area in 3 months, and just set unrealistic expectations and then actually deliver really poor quality leads. So that's something you really want to dig into when you're considering an option of pay up front, is like, how qualified are these leads? What kind of vetting do they do? What kind of scrubbing do they do? Or what's their process of getting the lead, to make sure that your money is going towards a higher quality lead versus just tire kickers or just recycled leads from a year ago, which unfortunately happens a lot. So you just want to dig deeper into how they're getting the leads, what's the quality of the leads, so that you can make sure your money is going well spent. Now, here are the pros of a pay upfront model. This does obviously not apply to every company, but if you find a good company that produces good results, these are the pros. First thing, if you find a marketing company that can produce quality leads, it'll always be cheaper in the long run. Most successful business people have a long-term mindset, not just the quickest way to get to XYZ result, but also in the long run, what is actually going to save them money, save them time, and get them to where they want to be. So that's one pro if you find a great company that can do that. Second thing is, you have more control of the variables, so you can make improvements and also scale it. So that's what I mean by, if you have a actual system to bring in buyers and sellers on your own without using an outside company, then you can actually make adjustments, improvements, and scale it, so that way not only can you get one extra deal per month, but you can actually add an additional 3 to 5 deals per month and scale it to whatever you're wanting to grow to. Third pro is, if you actually build an internal client acquisition system, you'll never have to rely on a third-party company. Now, the danger of relying on a third-party company to get you your leads is, what happens if that company changes their model. Like Zillow changed their model recently, and a lot of the lead flow, the lead quality suffered. So they are a separate company that can change anything at any point, and you have no control over that. So the beauty of having an internal system by using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Google, and even YouTube and TikTok is that you have control over those platforms. Any person can advertise on those platforms and have an internal system where you generate opportunities for yourself. Huge influencers in the real estate space like Ryan Serhant and Tom Ferry, they all do this in their companies. They don't buy leads from external sources. They build an internal system to bring in the leads to their social media pages, their YouTube pages, their Google searches, and things like that. So that is definitely one major con of having a pay upfront system where you invest in advertising and invest in your own client acquisition system so you can control it and scale it. So here's my conclusion. I just want to give you guys the breakdown of the pros and cons. My conclusion is if you don't have any marketing budget or upfront money to invest in your business, then I would say definitely focus on referrals, sphere of influence, and then also a pay at close system. That's going to be the best route for you if you don't have a budget. Now, if you do have a marketing budget and want to invest in something that's actually going to produce an ROI and that you can scale up, definitely invest in digital advertising through Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, TikTok, and really use your own things at your fingertips to build your own client acquisition system so that you don't have to rely on a third-party company. But if you don't know how to run those campaigns yourself or set up the systems to really convert the leads or anything like that, hire a company that knows how to do that well and has all the systems in place to really make that work. I mean, something like even our company, like what we do for our clients is we actually even set them up to have our internal sales team actually qualify the leads and book the appointments. So there's definitely a lot of options out there where you can get a more qualified opportunity from these platforms where they're coming to you instead of you having to chase them. So basically, to wrap it up, there really isn't a one size fits all. Depending on where you're at in your business and what you're looking for, you may go with one option over the other. My recommendation is to really do your deep research on both options and align it with what your goals are, what you prioritize, and what's going to actually help you to hit that goal. Because one may sound good, but if it's not going to help you actually hit your goal, then it's not going to be worth it. So you really want to just do deeper research and ask deeper questions to figure out what's going to actually help you get to your goals and what's going to be the best use of your time and your money, because you want to take both of those factors into consideration. So if you got value from this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to be releasing content like this every week to help you as a realtor improve your marketing systems and sales to convert more deals and to grow the business of your dreams. So see you on the next one. Bye, guys.